Just a few seasons removed from a Super Bowl championship, this Rams team has taken a steep dive in the wrong direction. A good portion of that Super Bowl roster now gone. The team now sits one of the worst built teams in the NFL, highly relying on many young, unproven talent. And that is where this story begins. As we get underway here with the Rams, we did go through preseason and we had one good game. The other game's not very good. We only scored 7 points against the Chargers and only 2 points against the Broncos. But I wanted to start here because we have some moves we need to make on this roster to get down to the 53-man, and that really kind of sets the tone for what I expect of season 1. And to get down to that roster limit that we need, we have to get rid of 21 players. And that does mean just making some cuts, potentially maybe a trade or two, but also just sending some guys to the practice squad. And we're going to go position by position, starting here at quarterback. Obviously, Matthew Stafford will be our quarterback for at least this season. We do have the rookie in Stetson Bennett, though he is 25 years old. Doubt he's going to develop very much. Past them, I think we're going to go ahead and cut Brett Rippon. He's 27 years old, 57 overall. I don't think we need to keep him around. We will send the rookie here in Wynn to the practice squad. At running back, we currently have 5 guys, and I honestly just think that is too much. The first move we will make, though, is sending Ronnie Rivers to the practice squad. But I really think we just need the 3 guys, and you're going to see this throughout every position. We're going to focus on the young guys rather than the older talent that's not going to develop very much. So we're actually going to make a cut here in Sony Michel. Not going to help out the running back market, but I think it's a move we need to make. At receiver, we have 10 of them, and that is definitely way too much. We are going to keep around Cooper Kupp for this season. At least that is the plan. Depending on if we end up picking up a quarterback in the next draft, then it could be really good to have Cooper Kupp around. Past Kupp, then things kind of changed a little bit. And we also do not have Van Jefferson on the screen, so we actually have 11 receivers. He had an injury during the preseason, so he's not showing up here. But I think we are going to make a cut here for Demarcus Robinson. He's 75 overall, but 28 years old. Want to focus on these younger guys, so that's going to be one of the cuts that we're going to make. Just again, focusing on the younger. Tyler Johnson, 25 years old, is kind of at that limit, right? 25, you're not going to get a whole lot better from these lower overalls. I do want to focus on Tutu Atwell at the slot position. And Skowronek, I'm not too sure if we are going to utilize him much. I would like to focus on the younger ones. So I think we actually will end up releasing Skowronek just because he's already 26, pretty low overall. We're going to focus, like I said, on a lot of these younger guys, and hopefully someone is going to take the reins. Xavier Smith, we are going to cut because he's 63 and 25 years old. And the last move out receiver will be sending Burmeister to the practice squad. He is a rookie, so we'll cut him a little bit of some slack and he can stick on there. And eventually we will get back Van Jefferson, which will make this a more well-rounded, I'll say well-rounded, but a more rounded position group. At tight end, we obviously are going to be cutting the long snapper because we don't need him. And the other move I'm going to make is releasing Hunter Long. I want to focus more so on trying to develop Davis Allen as possibly even the number 2 tight end over the 26-year-old Bryson Hopkins. As for the left tackle spot, we are going to be releasing AJ Arcuri? Maybe that's how that's pronounced. I don't know. My best guess, but he's 26 years old, 61 overall, not going to make the cut. I typically like to keep around 8 offensive linemen. And a pretty easy move for us here is Sean Magan. At center, he's lower than a 60 overall, so at least practice squad. We'll see if he even makes that squad. And we will also be cutting right guard Zachary Thomas, 25 years old, only 64 overall. And that will leave us with 8 players across the entirety of the offensive line. On the defensive side of the ball, we're going to stick with the guys we currently have at left end. At right end, things will change. I did move Michael Hoach, I think That's how it's pronounced, from an outside linebacker. He's 310 pounds, so we definitely needed to move down to a defensive end spot, and he will probably take over a starting spot because I do plan on trading, might not like it, but I do plan on trading away Aaron Donald at some point this season, maybe as we get closer to that week 8 deadline. There are just so many holes in this roster. We need as many picks as possible. And him being 32 years old, he's probably looking for one more ring before he retires, and this team is not going to get him that. We have a very young rookie in Byron Young who will be getting the start. Then past him, these guys are all pretty similar, but at the end of the day, a 60 overall 25-year-old really isn't going to help us out, so we will be making that cut. Now at middle linebacker, we have, again, a young guy here in Ernest Jones that is good in stopping the run, but he does not provide any sort of coverage ability, which is unfortunate. And then everyone else behind him, really low overall. We do have Roseboom here, but he's 26 years old and a 63, so we are going to be making that cut. Might look for some free agents to maybe bring in to try to have a little bit of some better depth here at the inside backer spot, because for now we really don't have that, and I would prefer to send most of these guys to the practice squad. So that's actually what we're going to do, and we'll try to look for some guys after we move on to week 1. Now we currently have 8 corners on a roster, and I don't have a future plan here for Witherspoon, but everyone else's cover ratings are just awful. So we're going to stick with Witherspoon for now, but I don't plan on that being a long-term situation for us. Kobe Bryant will be our number 2 guy. No one could really play any press, so we're going to have to rely on off coverage. And then Rochelle, 25 years old, his cover ratings aren't very good. I think this is just a straight up cut spot for us. We're going to try to get Hodges Tomlinson out there developing a little bit. He's more so a zone cover guy, very similar to Durant, and at least we have a balanced part with Witherspoon. And then we have quite a few other young guys back here. Davis, the lowest overall and one of the oldest guys, that will be a cut. And the last player that we'll be moving is going to be a practice squad in Rashad Torrance. He's 21 years old, so hopefully he could develop a little bit, but we're going to look to develop him at that practice squad spot. And there's still some more moves that we're going to need to make after we get on over to week 1 and actually bring in some hopefully decent backup linebackers. And I am looking for younger guys to, again, have some time to try to develop them. So we're going to do a little bit of some practice squad stealing. I'm not looking for anyone to take over any sort of starting spot, but really just want to find guys who maybe can do something for us. And Jack Gibbons here does actually look slightly intriguing. He's on the slower side, so definitely wouldn't be, I feel like, a long-term kind of guy for us, but young, can develop a little bit, has a very well-balanced skill set, at least, with 67 block shedding and then 66 zone coverage. So there's some decency to look at there. He is 24 years old, so how much is he going to develop? Probably not too much, but he should be a decent depth guy for us. We are also going to look to bring in third-year linebacker in Jabril Cox, currently listed at left outside linebacker, but would move into the middle with our scheme. Does not provide much in terms of run stoppability, but we do not have any sort of sub backers, so he would be honestly a pretty good fit for that role, so I'll bring in him as well. And the last backer we're going to bring in is Nick Neiman. Again, just trying to find some depth players who have at least a little bit of some balance. None of these guys are very highly rated, but just filling out some depth. And of course, to make room for those 3 additions, we have to get rid of some guys, and we're going to be doing that here at safety with Richard LeCount. Just, he does not have the speed for a safety for me, at least free safety, 81 speed. I mean, that's even a slow linebacker nowadays, so we will be making that release. And we will be releasing a young corner here in Vincent Gray. He's a rookie, but he doesn't fit the kind of guys we have currently on roster. He does actually have some press ability, but he doesn't have the speed, he doesn't have the zone, doesn't really have the man either, so that's just going to be a cut we're going to have to make, and we'll have to do at least one more. And that will end up being second-year player in Quentin Lake. Did play at UCLA, and I don't think he's bad. I mean, 66 overall isn't awful, but he doesn't have the hit power to be a strong safety. nor the cover or speed I'm looking for at free safety. So he kind of just ends up becoming a casualty of the 53 man, and we'll be making that final release. But with that release, this team is ready to get into the first game of this series, and this is what the starting set looks like. And there's some talent here and there, and hopefully we could really get some of these young guys developing and just see some overall good play from them. There's just some definite gaps we need to try to work on. We're going to get a lot of young guys some play, and eventually we'll get that trade for Aaron Donald, just because he's taking up some spots that some young guys can be playing in to try to develop, and he's 32 years old looking for that ring. So it makes sense to make that trade. But with the roster set, it's time to see what we can get done with this extremely young starting roster. And let's get this Madden series underway, as Hodgins Tomlinson will be back to return. He's not actually going to be a full-time starter at the cornerback spot. We're kind of shaking up some rosters a little bit, seeing who's going to grab a hold of a lot of these up-in-the-air positions. The position that's not in the up-in-the-air, though, is for Matthew Stafford at quarterback. He had a really good career, fortunately playing with the Lions for a majority of it. But he did get his ring with the Rams, and probably most likely will not be getting another one, as we start with a handoff down the middle. Cam Akers picks up 4. And I do at least plan originally for this offense to primarily go through Cam Akers. I feel like the way that the team is built right now, we really should be a run-first team, and then see who else can make some plays in some play-action situations. But first and foremost, I even think this offensive line is more so involved in the run game than it is in the pass, as we are extremely close there, but they do not give it to us. But obviously this team isn't that good, so if we're going to win games, it might require a little bit more risk taking. So we're going to go for it on 4th down, and they send the blitz straight on through. Brooks will force a turnover on downs. And from there, Geno Smith and the Seattle offense could head on out. He had a tremendous bounce back year last year, obviously won the award for Comeback Player of the Year. They expect big things. And as for our Rams here, they really don't expect a lot. Neither really do I. So we'll see how the team is to start off with, as it's a pass to Fant, and we just can't tackle. Fant broke at least 3 tackles on that play just to gain 4 yards. But I do also need to remember that we are very much not a man coverage team. It's the fun part of switching over to a new series where we were very much a man cover team with the Commanders replacement squad. And now, switching to that zone, we'll see how different the team ends up playing. Also have to remember that we don't have very much press ability on this roster either, as we had a quick pass rush. Aaron Donald not getting the sack, but does force the quick throw, and Witherspoon breaks it up. They did have, I believe that was DK Metcalf open on that play, so you know, not awful for us as we send the blitz. Walker is going nowhere. A loss of 1 as Cox gets the quick tackle. And that'll leave 11 needed for him on 3rd down, as it's gotten pretty quiet here inside Lumen. At the 22, defense looking for the stop, and it's the opposite of the stop, though they will still be leaving the field as they find the rookie in Smith Najiba. Honestly, I forgot how to pronounce it, but either way, the rookie scores first for Seattle. Well, as we head out for our second possession of offense, let's see if we could get anything going. As we're going to send Kupp in motion, fake off the jet sweep, will be a play action pass. They were going to have a guy open, but not enough time to get rid of it. Or at least not enough time to get the ball anywhere close to where it was supposed to be. So on 2nd and 10, we'll switch it up. We'll go with a stretch to the outside. Once again, a very, very quick tackle. The former Ram and Bobby Wags rejoining the Seattle Seahawks gets the big loss. I would like to find Tutu Atwell here on the outside, though not much separation, and that ball well overthrown. Second drive, you could argue even worse. So after the quick punt, Seahawks back on the field after their touchdown drive previous. They'll start with a heavy set here, run right down the middle, and at least we're stopping that. Walker on 2 carries, -4 yards as Donald meets him in the backfield. Very interested to find out what this team manages to do well and what our strengths can be for us to build upon. As it's a pass underneath, we'll find Lockett, who will get close and does get the first down. So far, all momentum going to the home team in this one. As it will spread wide, shotgun look right down the middle, Walker swallowed up again. Well, apparently the only strength we have on defense is Aaron Donald. Though that does not come at any surprise. After the loss of 3 on first down, 2nd and 13. From a pistol strong eye, it's a read option. Jones can't get out there. Instead, Fuller can't even get the tackle, and Witherspoon will eventually drag down Geno after about the 15-yard scramble. Not even scramble, it was a read option. So definitely looks like tackling is an issue with us. We can't even get the sure ones. On quarterbacks even. Pass to the outside. Fant will get stopped after the quick grab. And on 2nd and 5, they'll shake it up a little bit. Just flipping the side, send the 2 receivers to the left, Fant to the right. Right down the middle, it was a play action to the outside, just out of the reach of the cover man in Taylor. They do find DK Metcalf, first down to the 28. And with a heavy set, 3 tight ends all to that right-hand side, single back, that will be a pass out of it. Right across the middle, no, instead to the outside, they'll pick up about a yard, maybe 2. Playing a little bit of a multi-defense here with the Rams, a little bit of some 3-4, a little bit of some 4-3. As we just try to find a little bit of something. Luckily, we had 2 players there to get the tackles. I don't think Jones was going to get that by himself. Instead, we have the corner come in and help us out, and it ends up working out well for us. 3rd and 6 with a bunch to the right, Geno under center. Will be how we start the second quarter, as the first ends with not much for our offense. It's been entirely the Seahawks in this one. And they'll come out, spread 2 to the right, 1 to the left, trying to convert this 3rd and 6. With some slant routes, no, it's the wheel route out to Walker, and he finally gains some yards. That time, wide open, a good pass from Geno. And the Seahawks looking for their second score. Making a hot route or an audible here. Will be a pass. No one really across the middle, to the outside they go, finding Fant and a few more yards. Well, right now, hard to say this defense is doing anything well. We kind of forced them out of the run game. They haven't gone back to it, though they will fake it. As we have Jones in the backfield, it's just going to be a scramble and a throwaway. And a similar look the next play, 3rd and goal. Can we get the defensive stand? They hand it off to Walker, but no. Beautiful blocking that time. And this time Walker in the end zone rather than being tackled for a loss. Seahawks take a 14-0 lead. Well, it's about time we get this offense moving as we head out our first possession in the second quarter. We're going to send Kupp in motion. Fake the handoff. Hand off to Akers to that left-hand side. Stand on his feet as long as he could, but Diggs will eventually bring him down. A gain of 4. Again, trying to build this offense through the running game. Leak out for some rollout passes, some short passes if we can. Not able to break to the outside. We had the gap there, but a nice tackle once again from Bobby Wags. And on 3rd and 7, they'll bring down the safety to that left-hand side. They have the single high look. Can we just find someone to throw it to? No, because the instant pass rush will be a sack. 4th and 16. We're going to have to boot this one away once again. Well, so far today, we've done well in the running game besides the rushing touchdown, as Kenneth Walker does have 5 rushes, 4 yards, and the touchdown. But we also really haven't forced the Seahawks to start a drive from deep in their own territory at all. Nor can we really even find ourselves a quick solo tackle. So some definite work to do with this team, but that's what we expected. That was the challenge. And we should see a lot of develop hopefully through this team, whether it's from our own draftees or signees. Should be quite a lot of fun. As a 2nd and 7, right across the middle, they will find, I believe that was the rookie, who will not get the first down, 3rd and inches. And it will be from a heavy set. We send the blitz, but they go Lockett's way. First down, Seahawks, down to the 30. We'll say it's very fun playing with this defense right now because what they are supposed to do well is kind of the opposite of how I normally build my defenses. I'm very much a strong man corner with some press. And that is just about the opposite of what this team is built to do. They're zone off coverage corners. Not a lot of strength there. Not a lot of speed either, surprisingly. As Smith and Jigbug does get the first down and a penalty, not a penalty, an injury actually, for one of the Seattle offensive linemen. Doesn't look all too serious as he does not leave the field, but maybe we could get a little bit of a pass rush now then? We haven't got much of that today. This is a path underneath. Going to find Parkinson's, not going very far. However, does still going to gain a 4. Leaving them with 2nd and 6. Down at the 12. A first down would give them a 1st and goal, but they swing it out. Walker, and he basically just slightly hops over the tackle attempt. Gain a 2. And considering we're so far down here, not a whole lot of space, let's try to bring this safety blitz. Fuller coming down. Has plenty of time, and how do we not jump that one? Kendrick, got to get on your high horse. That should have been a pick, at worst, a knockaway. But we'll take the little victories where we could get them. We at least forced the field goal here with about 2 minutes, or exactly 2 minutes as we just hit the 2-minute warning. So let's see if this offense can move the ball at all in crunch time. And so far, we've come out in a lot of single back, heavier sets. So for the first time today, we're going to come out spread here in shotgun and see what we can pick up. If anything, I'll take throwing it away. It does not appear we could really rely on any sort of developing routes. Need to really try to find the quick hits. That might be the only way we get this offense moving. As we do find Van Jefferson, we'll pick up about a gain of 5, maybe 6. Going to hurry up, look for some quick stop routes to this right-hand side. If anyone's going to get open, no, but that should have been a pick 6, but it wasn't. 4th and 4 backed up, probably still need a punt. Now with about 1.5 minutes and 3 timeouts, can Gino lead his Seahawks down the field for another score? They've been able to move the ball pretty well so far as they start with a halfback screen, and actually a little bit of some pressure there forces the throwaway. And with the 2nd and 7, they'll stay spread, trips out to that right-hand side. Quick little stop here. They go to the opposite side. Knock away. Okay, defense finally working out a little bit better here. Just need one more play. Though it appears they might be trying to set up a run here instead. 2 receivers spread to the right. 2 tight ends, 1 on either side. Is this a single back? Going to that left-hand side, going nowhere. Aaron Donald gets the stop, but an injury on Jabril Cox, one of the new additions at linebacker, as he'll head off the field. Well, once again, looking to try to get something going with this offense, and this is actually probably the best field position we've had so far in this game. We're going to have to try to roll out, get this one somewhere. We'll find Akers, bounces off the first guy, but can't really get anywhere else after. We'll stick with the shotgun look, just flipping it, sending the 2 receivers to the right rather than the left. A little bit of play action, send Cup deep perhaps. Can he find some space? No, instead pass rush, force fumble, and Stafford will jump on it. 3rd and 17. Well, this team really struggling. I thought the offensive line would have at least been the better part of this offense, but it just does not seem to be the case. We can't get a pass off. 4th and 17, 6 seconds left. That'll probably do it for us here in the first half. So a lot of work to do with this team, and we're going to have to try to make some sort of halftime adjustments to see that happen. We have a -5 passing yards and 3 rushing yards. All in all, this offense was horrid. Defense, at least, kind of keeping the game close. As we look for some studio updates, looking over to the east side, northeast, as the 49ers get a win over the Steelers, 35-21. Moving on over to the second matchup. In the middle, Kansas City taking on the Detroit Lions. It's all Chiefs 35-21. And lastly, we have all the way over across the nation here, the Commanders lose big to the Cardinals of all teams, 42-14. If you didn't see, yesterday, or actually on Saturday, the Commanders are back again with the Virginia's only state challenge, so make sure you check that one out if you haven't already. But as we get stuck on in here to the second half, Seahawks open it up, and they're already up 17-0. Gino had a pretty good first half. We did pretty well in stopping the running game. That was about one of the only things we did well. Pass across the middle, DK finds a space, breaks the tackle, and will end up picking up 13 yards on what should have been a max gain of 5. Also, we have news that we will not be seeing Jabril Cox return, so Gibbons is out there. We'll see what he could do as Geno will roll out. Why are we giving Fant so much space? Stick with the tight coverage. Either way, it does end up being another first down here for the Seahawks, just shy of midfield. As they're going to make an audible, flipping the formation, send the two tight ends to the right, two receivers off to the left. We'll send the blitz, see if we could get any sort of pass rush going. Walker with a spin move, not going to get by Taylor. But a definite bit of concern is the fact that we are not getting much of any sort of pass rush right now with even Aaron Donald up there. He did well in stopping the run. We send the blitz, quick throw from Geno will find Lockett, making it a 3rd and short. Only 4 incompletions for Geno on the day. And from a tight look, we'll switch to a blitz. Still no one getting through, and it'll be a dump off for Lockett that's still 20 some odd yards downfield. Seahawks first down to the 29. You know, I wasn't wanting to make many changes to this roster in season 1. Just kind of using what the Rams have in real life and trying to find some guys who can make things happen. With a pass deep, it's intercepted. Taylor, the rookie, should have stayed in the end zone, but there we go. Our first big play of the series is a pick in the end zone. Now, if we could only build upon it, as we have the 1st and 10 within our own 5. We'll hand this one off. Akers has some space, sticks close to the blocker, probably slowed him down as we have a 2nd and inches. But can't take away that was the fact that that was probably the best run we've had since the first drive. As we'll stick with the same look, run it to the opposite side. Akers has the space. Juke can't quite get by Adams, but it is a first down up to the 21. Don't want to speak too soon, but maybe a little momentum building here for us. Sure would be nice to see as we stick to the running game. Evans right down the middle. We'll manage 2, a hard-fought 2. And we'll stick with the same look, but switch to a pass instead. Just look for something quick. That's all we're trying to do. As we could try to throw this one deep. Since when does a slant route go 30 yards downfield? Really threw off the groove there for sure as we have a 3rd and 8. As we come out with the split backfield cup in the backfield, we'll head out on a route as we're trying to just wait to find someone open. And someone just finished their route? No, instead, Stafford scrambles, barely picking up the first down. Do not want to have to rely on Matthew Stafford scrambling around at, what, 35-something years old? But it gets us the first down. Akers with some space. Breaks this one to the outside. Can we get by the last man? Does get the stiff arm, but Bobby Wags catches up and a few other Seahawks. But definitely the highlight of the offense so far as Akers breaks off his biggest run of the day. And from there, we'll stick with a spread look, this time sending 3 out to the right-hand side. They drop all backers into coverage. Drop this one off for Tutu Atwell. We'll pick up 5. Only the 4th completed pass on the day for Stafford. Meanwhile, we just talked about Geno having only 4 incompletions. As Cam Akers finds a little bit of space, but the tackle there will ensure a 3rd down. So we'll bring out the quote-unquote fullback. It's actually a running back, which is why he's so small. But a 3rd and 1. They get the push up front, and we lose yards. 4th and 3 at the 21. But why not go for it? Can't hurt at this point. As we'll come out under center, we have Tutu on the outside. We could have went to. Ended up getting covered. If we could toss this one, Cooper Kupp in the end zone on 4th and 3. We find our 99 rated receiver in the end zone. And finally, grab some points here. Well, let's see if we could build upon that momentum here and get another stop on defense. Seahawks are coming out under center with a tight single back set, making an audible here, looks like, for Geno, as they will set up a pass play to the outside. Witherspoon, where are you going, my dude? Great play there from DK as they'll stick with that same look. Well, you know what? We probably should tell them to favor the outside. Seems that's where a lot of these throws are going for the Seahawks. As instead they'll go with a stretch to the outside, another whiff tackle. Fuller will end up flipping Walker, but it's another massive gain here for the Seahawks. And with that first down, they will change it up a little bit. 2 receivers stack either side for Geno in the pocket. To the outside they go, this time overthrowing Fant. And that'll also end our 3rd quarter as we head into the 4th, a 10-point game. And as we begin the fourth quarter, it will be from shotgun. Gino has 2 to the right, 1 to the left. As they set up a pass play, try to sit under, doesn't work. Pass rush, trying to get back there. We do end up getting a pretty late hit in there on Gino, though. Luckily for us, no flags come in. And they'll stick with a similar look on third down, just flipping it. 2 to the left this time. Actually, completely different look. They had 2 either side. Gino to the outside. No one there. That should be intentional grounding, but no penalty. Will be 4th and 10. I imagine a field goal unit coming out, though it didn't quite look like Gino wanted them to come out, but they will head out. Myers from about the 42, make it a 52-yard field goal, is up and through. Seahawks make it a 13-point game. As we head out here with just under 8 minutes left, trying to see if we could set up a quick screen pass, perhaps. As we get Van Jefferson slightly to the outside, he'll pick up 3 yards. Going to try to have a little bit of some hurry-up offense here, though. The straight blocking for us in the passing game hasn't worked out all too well, as we do find Jefferson once again first down. Keep things moving as long as this defense stays back. If they start to bring the blitzes, then we're going to have some issues. Across the middle. Why not go Cooper Kupp's way, but an inaccurate pass from Stafford goes straight to Adams, and the Seahawks will take over, this time at the 50. Just overthrown and too far to the left. Now that puts our defense in a tough spot where they need to essentially force the turnover here to keep us in this one. Will be a pass from Gino to the outside, coming back for Fant, but he still manages to get the first down. Really just sloppy tackling for us is giving the Seahawks a lot of yards after the catch. Under center, quick drop back. Parkinson does take a shot, but at the same time, we do have another injury up front. Now we wanted to give some of these young guys an opportunity to prove themselves out there, and unfortunately right now they are suffering injuries. 2nd and 5. Quick drop back pass to the outside. Not Parkinson, though, the other tight end. Fant gets the first down to the 24. Seahawks trying to find essentially the nail in the coffin in this one, as they are going to flip the play, sending the majority of the receivers a bunch to the right. Fant stays to the left-hand side, as we have a little bit of man-on-man across the middle, and Lockett. Great hands. But with just over 5 minutes left, feel like another touchdown given up would ensure the victory here for the Seahawks, as they do go out wide. They do not pick up the first down. But the question is here, do they go for the pass on 3rd and short? They do, and we are there. But apparently not there enough to swat the ball away. 1st and goal at the 9. At this point, you would imagine the Seahawks would just start to drain this clock, though. They're not running it yet. They try to set up a pass. Pass rush comes in, forces the fumble, scooped up instantly, and at least they're not going to get a whole lot of yards after said picked up fumble. But really, anytime this defense is making plays, it's Donald. Past that, not much in this one. They'll stick with the passing game, though. Almost the same exact play. Parkinson this time to the outside. In comes Hampton, forces him out of bounds. And now on 3rd and goal from the 8. Can we get the stop here? We'd at least still keep it a 2-score game. To the outside, no. The sure hands from DK Metcalf. We had Fuller on him, but couldn't quite knock it away. Needed to undercut the route instead. He went over the top. Didn't work. And on top of that, Seahawks trying to add on a 2-point conversion as well. A little bit of some insult to injury here, as they will go with a quick swing pass to the outside and an easy 2 points, as another injury, this time to Damian Lewis for the Seahawks. Well, at this point, we're really just trying to see what may or may not work for this team, as really not a chance of finding a way back into this game. We'll swing this one off to Akers, who will get the catch, scamper out of bounds, a gain of 8. And they do bring down the safeties, so line, if you could block well for us here, we might have a chance to find someone deep. Not enough time. Akers once again gets the catch, but not getting the stiff arm. Great tackle on the outside. We'll quickly get back to the line, flipping the formation. Atwell goes to the right-hand side, Akers to the left. With about 3 minutes and counting, no blocking on that right-hand side, and luckily we throw the ball away in time. So this offensive line definitely a cause of concern, despite the fact I thought it was actually going to be one of the good parts of this offense. As we'll dump this one off, and I didn't think that was too much of an inaccurate pass, but apparently it was. Just a little bit too out of the way for the receiver. I believe it was Tutu Atwell we were going for. And on 3rd and 10, we hand this one off. Akers fumbles. Picked up by the Seahawks, and yeah, just the cherry on top. Hopefully the Seahawks just choose to run this one out, as they do hand it off down the middle. Good stop there from Jones. That was a much better tackle. You know, if you're going to lose, at least do a couple things well. That way it makes you think that maybe you're learning and maybe getting a little bit better. As we have a 2nd and 8 just outside the 2-minute warning. It will be a misdirection to the opposite side. Walker close to the first down, 3rd and 1. That'll be for after the 2-minute warning. Seahawks up big in their home opener, 28-7. As for us in our season opener, has not gone very well as Walker finds space to the outside. Fuller will get the tackle. Walker thought he had a touchdown. Would have been his 2nd of the day. And at least give some props there to Fuller to get the stop. He definitely could have just let him score. With a little over a minute left here, Seahawks may be looking for another touchdown. Down the middle, picked up and slammed down. Aaron Donald once again. Perhaps what we need to do in a trade with Donald is look for a player and picks. That might be something that could help us out a little bit this year, plus getting the picks for the future. As it's another pickup slam down, this time with the partner. I don't know if you'd really say partner, as Brown more so took the brunt of the slam. You can definitely tell that there's some frustration there with Donald, and I'm sure he would be asking for a trade with the state that this roster is in. But that will do it for us in week 1. We were able to see a couple big plays here and there, saw some things that showed that there's a possibility of some talent, but some work to do for sure. As the Seahawks open their season 28-7, Geno had a pretty good game out there. We did well against stopping the run early on, though Walker got going later. Overall, as mentioned, some work to be done. But that will do it for us in this one. We'll be back again tomorrow as we move on to take on another California team, the San Francisco 49ers. We're going to really try to focus in on the running game, try to get that moving. We're going to keep an eye also on practice squads and just if anyone ends up getting cut or anything like that, just to see if we could bring in some younger talent. I don't want to bring in older guys that are just going to help us for a year and then not much. I want to try to develop some young guys, so we'll keep an eye on that, see if we end up finding anyone. I'll obviously let you know if we do add anyone. There's some definite spots all over this team that could use some improvement. So if there's a young guy that you guys like that you would want to see added to this team, let me know down below and we can definitely see what we can get done. I mean, this defense, first and foremost, needs to be fixed. A 73 overall, and how much is that being propped up by Aaron Donald? Probably a good bit. So a lot of work to do, but that's the fun part here with the franchises, is building the team. So I hope you guys enjoyed the real first episode of the Rams franchise. Again, we'll be back again tomorrow. This series is going to be posted every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So make sure you hit that bear icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit that subscription button, and tick that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. On Wednesdays and Saturdays, we also have the state-only challenge, and then I post all these shorts highlighting all the different series and the things happening inside them. So a bunch of different content. Hope you guys enjoy. And next time, we're going to have a tough team to try to face, and excited to see who's going to make a name for themselves. So until then, we'll see you guys later. Bye.